Bow wow 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 chicka wow 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 chicka wow wow
Wow.
wow. Yes,
Oh, sick.
that was sick.
That
Are we
was dope.
clear? Are we good? We
We're
good of
in.
the video? We're in.
We're
Awesome.
in.
Welcome to Neon Gaming Dimension. That's right. This is our very new games focused channel from Neon Pocket Dimension and Odd Valley Studios. My name is Gage, aka Luke Shot First, and that is Jacob, aka OM Jesus. What up, dude?
What's up, bro? I don't know when or if anyone will call me the Dungeon Master, but I'm really hoping one day
You're
I can
right.
get that
You're right.
status.
Okay,
But I
I'm
need to
gonna keep
earn
that in
it.
mind. I'm
You
gonna
don't
keep that in
have to
mind.
call me the Dungeon Master, but I'm just trying to get people to call me that.
Sometimes I call you Producer Supreme.
I like
Dungeon
that.
Master's got to go. It's got to go in the
Producers
what are
Producer Supreme is good too.
It is. You can be both. So what are we doing today? We are obviously the Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree trailer dropped earlier
Mhm.
this week. However, we wanted to wait for this channel to come out so that we could have this out on our gaming focus channel. So here we are. We couldn't wait any longer. We need to do a trailer breakdown. We're gonna watch it all the way through, and then we're gonna go through. I'm gonna show you some details, some lore details that I may have picked out, and just nerd out on it like we do.
Heck yeah.
So you want to watch the trailer all the way through first once, and then we'll come back and do our thing.
Sure. All right,
Okay.
let's run through it. The music.
The music slays in this trailer.
Pure and radiant, he wields love to shrive clean the hearts of men. There is nothing more terrifying.
Moog's Palace. We now know that's where we enter.
Yep. Touch the withered hand.
Know it. So sick.
In that forsaken place,
Spanish guy.
blood must spill.
Blood must spill.
Blood of your fellows. The Erdtree faithful.
They were never saints. They just happened to be on the losing side of a war.
God, that thing is so huge.
The Wicker Man, dude. Oh god, this thing.
Sucky boy.
So cool. Boss is gonna be hard, I think.
Dude.
He's got that.
Amazing.
I think he's
Mother.
maybe spitting death blight right there.
Thou truly lordship sanction in one so bereft of light. I presume you too are keen to know just what kind Mikkeler is doing here. Those stripped.
This
of
image right here is
grace
so
of
cool.
gold Shall all meet death
Fucking cool.
in the embrace of restless flame.
Come now. Touch the withered arm and travel to the realm of shadow. I will not be far behind. May we meet again.
God, that music goes hard. Damn.
Nice.
Well, so what's your initial thoughts of the trailer? How are you feeling? Is it getting you hyped? What's the vibe?
My nips are hard.
Oh yeah,
Nips can't be harder.
glass cutting capabilities.
Yeah. Like, I don't know how hard the nips can be passed now, like crystal and nips.
Mm-hmm. Onyx.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Onyxian nips.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean June it's coming out. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
You
really
just beat
stoked for
Elden
that.
Ring for the 3rd time, right?
That's true. So I do now have the 100% achievement. I did not cheese it like everyone else did. Everybody like saved right before they pick their ending, essentially.
Oh wow, that's cool. So
Three fresh runs.
The way I'm doing it is I'm about to beat it on my second run through. That's a vanilla run through.
Yeah.
Where I mean my first run through was like a Dex bleed build, and then my second run through is an all intelligence mage build. And then I just started New Game Plus from my original one. So
Nice.
so that one's gonna be a super faithy build type of thing.
Oh, cool.
But that so I'm about to beat it with my mage currently. So yeah.
Yeah, like Panafin in the chat says there's 3 main endings, but I think there's 6 endings. Yeah, there's definitely extra endings, but for the 100% achievement, there's 3 specific endings that you do need. So I did beat that, and that's besides the point. The whole point is I did beat it, and it's so funny because I was like, hey, I'm about to like stop playing this game, but then this news comes out. The DLC is coming in June. I'm like,
well,
okay.
Luckily, you got a few months to take a rest. That's fine. So.
I mean, except for we have a series called The Elden 3 that we're going to record.
You're right. Never mind.
But that's okay. That's different because that's co-op gaming, and that's kind of like a whole different thing that I haven't really experienced as much. So totally. I digress. Good times.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'm very excited for this. Elden Ring is has become one of my favorite games of all time, and I have never played a FromSoft DLC before, and I hear they are worthy, so I'm excited about this.
Yeah, they're typically like harder.
Yep.
You know, they really throw the kitchen sink at you, as they say.
Well, because it's for the diehard, right? They know the people who are going to do the DLC have probably played through the games, and you know what I mean. Like they're typically
like they take place not past the end game, like somewhere in the middle toward the end, maybe like mid to late game, if you will.
Yeah. I mean, usually to beat Moog, you have to be a relatively high level. I mean, so yeah.
I think that like to beat Moog, you need to at least be to the point where you should be at maybe the mountaintops of the giants, I think.
Yeah, because you can get to him via the portal that's in the mountaintops of the giants, or you can do Vare's quest and get there early. And getting there early gets you pretty OP pretty early because there's all those champions runes that you get in that place that give you like 75,000 runes or whatever.
Yeah, that is if you don't get killed in the process.
That's true, but I went with my mage and like speed ran through there and just like got all of them, and then I was just like I was way over leveled for like a good like 4 or 5 bosses, and then finally I was like, all right, now it's kicking my ass again once I got to the end game.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm gonna go through. I've got some things to talk about. And
I have some things to talk about.
Great, hell yeah, the more the merrier. So
that's what we're talking about.
We're talking about this trailer. I'm gonna see if I can give you guys some lore implications, maybe some speculation stations, and we'll just see if we can piece together a little bit of knowledge here. We've got some more intel from Miyazaki this past week, so that's cool. So I'm gonna start right here with this frame right here, and there's there's some speculations about who this could be. And I'm sorry if I have to jump around a little bit. Yes, okay.
Melina.
So there's speculation both ways. I'm not 100% sure, and I'll just say right off the bat, this is all kind of just speculation. But
your speculation.
Looking at this person, I don't necessarily think it is the same. Her boots look very similar. Kind of the sort of stature looks sort of similar. The cloak, I think, looks a little bit looks a little shorter here. But some people are speculating that it could be her in Glowmide Queen form. Anyways, because there is a way that she becomes the Glowmide Queen, but it wouldn't really have happened until the end of the game. So
okay, let's revisit this a little bit later because I have more evidence, if you will, from Reddit about the possible fact that it is Melina.
Great. But you know, there's some other things, about that. Like, there's some debate on what's it called, the smoldering butterfly, because there's several demigods who have a butterfly equivalent in the lands between, and some people have speculated that the smoldering butterfly is hers. However, now with the introduction of Mesmer, some people are considering that maybe the smoldering butterfly is his. So, anyways, I could see arguments for this both ways. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So we'll touch back on that soon. Let me see here. So yeah, like we said, we already know that we're gonna likely enter, or I think it's even been confirmed by Miyazaki that we're gonna enter into the DLC by defeating Moog, and it said also that you have to defeat Radon to get into the DLC.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know. It's something. It was a thing that Miyazaki said.
Interesting.
In the Famitsu video, I believe that he said, yeah, you're gonna have to have beaten Radon and Moog to get into the DLC.
Okay, that's really interesting because
maybe because of something of Ronnie's quest. I don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly the implication that I'm thinking of as well. I wonder why is Ronnie tied up in this? You know, that's really interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could just be maybe there's something in Nokron that you need, or you know, something like that. I don't know.
So Ronnie is one of Marika's children, or excuse me, Radigan's children. Radigan
yes.
and Renala have 3 children. Radigan, Ronnie, and the other one.
Rykard,
and
Radon,
Rykard
and Ronnie. Yes, exactly.
Right.
Yes.
So obviously
all red of hair, except for we actually haven't seen Ronnie in her corporeal form, but we think that she has red hair also.
She probably has red hair as well, and I think that probably stems from well, does Radigan have red hair?
Yeah, he does.
That's why. Yeah. So that being said, that could be why. You know what I mean? It could have, but I don't know. That's weird, because like there's so much here to talk about, honestly.
So much,
because like you know, there's like Melina, there's or not Melina, it's who are the other 3? Let's talk about the butterfly bullshit really quick.
Sure.
Right?
So there's
Miquella.
Miquella has his I think it's called the nascent butterfly.
Yeah, the kind of see-through looking butterfly is the equivalent, apparently, right?
Yeah.
Then
Millennia. Yeah.
Millennia, yeah.
Let's see if this so there's
there they are. There's all 3 of them.
Yeah, there they are. So we've got the nascent butterfly. Can you see my mouse?
No.
Okay, bummer. Up here in the top corner where there's those 4 butterflies. There's the nascent butterfly, the smoldering butterfly, the Aeonian butterfly, which is Millennia's, and then that's also nascent. So I don't know.
Oh yeah, I was looking at the nascent one. The ones that they can see, it starts with the smoldering butterfly. There was no equivalent, although people theorize the equivalent is actually Melina, because she's a kindling for the burning of
she walks alongside flame, as they say. Yeah.
Right. Like to burn the Erdtree, you need her or the frenzied flame. But let's not talk about the frenzied flame. But that's why she's technically the smoldering butterfly. The Aeonian butterfly is Rot, which is I can't remember her name. Millennia.
So many
I want to
M's,
just think Melina always.
Right.
Melina is the chick who like talks to you at the beginning and helps you throughout the game. That's the fire one, right? And then the nascent butterfly, the see-through one, that's Miquella, right?
Yep.
But then in the trailer, we get another clue about the smoldering butterfly. That could be a new son or whatever.
Entry. Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Anyways, we'll get back to that. So the next shot I want to see here, we've got we're going through some spots that actually look like potentially familiar. Some people have considered that this might be Celia over here. I'm not sure of that, but maybe so.
Really?
Yeah, I kind of think that this is a fully new base.
Quick question. You know that there is a write-up on their website that gives more details? Have you read that at all?
I have read that, yes.
So
and it talks about it being a completely new
it's a different land.
Area.
It said it's not the land between, it's the land of shadow, right?
Of shadow, yeah. I do have a speculation about that. So this is the really good shot that's going to lead me to my speculation about that real fast. So this right here,
Mhm.
when we come up, you see how that these veils are kind of coming over
Mhm.
over the lands. So that's called a baldaquin, right? Which is, you might remember from
Mhm.
Fia's
The
quest, where
deathbed.
she gives you the deathbed companion. She gives you the baldaquin's blessing.
Mhm.
But also there is a baldaquin um in America's bedchamber. This is the place where America became a god. So this is her bedchamber right before you get to the. By the way, spoilers for Elden Ring, if we didn't make that abundantly clear. Um, but
Yeah.
yes, right before you get to Morgoth's fight, you come in here, and this is America's bedchamber, and she has a baldaquin also over there, and then another element of it. Here's the Queen's bedchamber. Um, Another element that is interesting is this item. Can you see that? The Mimic's Veil. Um,
Yeah.
so the Mimic's Veil is interesting. Where is the description of it? Is it right here? When Godric was hounded from Leyndell, the royal capital. This was one of multitude of treasures he took with him, also known as Marika's mischief. So
Hmm.
my thoughts on this is Marika is a shapeshifter. We know that she can shape between
Spoiler.
her masculine her masculine self Radigan and her feminine self Marika,
Mhm.
and that also she is she has this thing called the Mimic's Veil, which is hers and it's Marika's mischief.
Mhm.
Um, Part of me is thinking that my sort of theory that I've been developing both in pre stuff before this and like pre this trailer and then now post this trailer has kind of confirmed it further for me. Not confirmed, but you know what I mean. Built upon is that
Okay.
maybe
Conspiracy.
that America has veiled, or more like the Golden Order, really, because we all know that the Golden Order is really pretty cunning and mischievous, and they they're a lot like the Catholic Church. There's a lot of symbolism and allegory for them being similar to the Catholic Church. So
They're just
there's this
fucked
kind
up.
of there's this idea that there's this facade of the golden Erdtree. Like for instance, the Erdtree that we know today is a shell of the actual original Erdtree. And
Mhm.
so my speculation is that the Erdtree has actually been this shadow tree for ages, and that the game that we played through in Elden Ring, the whole lands between, was being sort of uh, veiled to look like this different, more prosperous, even though it doesn't seem that way, place, while the actual lands that inhabit are this land of shadow, and that this veil that is over this tree is kind of shading this from the rest of the world. So that's my sort of
So are you
theory.
trying to say like the lands between is like a parallel dimension of Marika's creation, essentially?
Yeah, sort of like a yes, a dreamlike state that
Mhm.
that people are all entranced in to keep them in order, right? Because the golden order, what does it value above all else? Order over chaos, right? So,
Mhm.
anyways, that's my theory. That's my theory. Pretty wild, I
Okay,
know, but who
that's
knows?
interesting and that's crazy. I mean, if you look like here, there are veils. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. There's
but
another place in the trailer real fast that shows a pretty cool. Let me see. I don't know have this trailer
I'm just
memorized,
saying,
but
like, if we're seeing the veils, wouldn't that be the place that's like hidden?
well, my thought is that the thing that the shadow realm is the hidden part that's under the veil. You know what I'm saying? And so somehow we've gone into this is the other scene. You see up on above the player character here.
Yeah, I
There's all
see
these
it.
draped things kind of over the
Hmm.
buildings and stuff. This reminds me of in Leyndell, the capital. Um, Before you burn the Erdtree down, um, there's these drippings of sap that are coming out of all of the like rooftops and stuff there.
Yeah. Hmm.
And I never really understood what those were. And then I kind of thought about it as like, again, there's like ash and stuff covering it up. And anyways, it seems like the Erdtree has been burned before, is what I'm saying, before you burn it in the game. And so my
I
thought
don't
is that
see that.
maybe,
I think it's just sap,
well,
personally.
Well, there's sap, but there's all this like there's these piles of anyway. It's just interesting.
Piles of what?
But piles of ash everywhere.
Where?
In the Landell capital. Let me
Before you burn it.
Before you burn it in the game, there's these. Big
just
piles
like
of ash.
there's one particular section that looks like it's got a lot of sand leading up to a staircase, right? You could argue that does look like ash, which is interesting.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm not gonna be able to find it. Well, no, it doesn't show it well here. Yeah. Well, kinda, but anyways.
It's like right around it's like right through that gate that's closed at first that you open. You have to open it yourself with that big vault. So like I guess I could see that maybe. But I don't know.
Anyway,
so like
I don't know.
So the way that the wording or the way that it's worded on the website, like the first place Marika went to was the Lands of Shadow.
Totally.
Right.
So I still kind of feel like
which
that works
also
because she
could work with your theory, right?
Yeah, because she goes there, things happen. Her initial conquests happen, and then my theory about the first burning of the Erdtree actually involves Mesmer, who we will see later in this trailer.
Yeah.
And then actually in regards to that, another interesting thing.
Not that bear.
Not that bear. Here we go. Perfect. As far as Marika's first steps and the first places that she visited. Do you see these buildings in the background? I think that building that's all slanted right there, right above the Red Dancer.
Yeah.
I think that's the back of a ship. I think that's actually a galley.
It could be. Yeah, it does look like a galley.
These are maybe ruins of ships, maybe. And actually on the left side too. I don't know if you can see that. But
well, she's an Empyrean, right? So like they're from somewhere else anyway. Right.
Yes, she's what do they call it? A Newman is what they call it.
Or Newman, yeah. There you go.
And initially, I think people were speculating that the Newmans were from one of the Eternal Cities, but it seems like maybe they're actually from somewhere else.
Well, I saw a video once that said that the Eternal Cities were not underground in the originally, yeah.
Totally, and I actually think that interesting. I actually think that this. One second. I actually think that what we're seeing here. You see up to the left to the left of the Erdtree, up on one of those higher cliffs. There's kind of a acropolis that kind of looks like the Greek acropolis that also reminds me of Moog's Palace. So I don't know. And a Moog's Palace is in an Eternal City.
Do you think that perhaps what we're looking at is the underground before it was underground?
Maybe so. Like maybe elements.
That would be interesting. So it's almost like an earlier time type of area.
Yeah. And I don't have any evidence from playing these, but I've heard through other like being on Reddit and stuff too that a lot of FromSoft DLCs deal with time travel. So we'll see.
No, they do. They do. Like typically you're going back in time and seeing things like before shit happens, which could be possible. But like what I get caught up on is just the wording of that it's not the same place, that it's another place, right?
Totally. But he does say it's intrinsically tied to the Lands Between for a story reason he wasn't going to say why.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're going to introduce a twist without spoiling it.
Yeah. So actually that brings me to my next topic. This is good. We're rolling right through the rhythm I wanted to do this.
Oh yeah.
That brings me to this person. A lot of people have speculated that this is speculated that this is a I might coin that phrase actually. I'm speculizing right now.
I'm speculizing, yo.
That this is young Renala.
I'm
not sure that this is a young Renala.
That looks like a man to me.
Agreed. And I think it might be this man who is here we go. Let's go to that.
Who the fuck are you?
This is the hourglass that you get to go into the, the one where you flip the tower in Liurnia. And then he's a Carrion Lord. I don't know who he is, but he's a Carrion Lord.
You earlier said that Miyazaki said you had to get to a certain point in Ronnie's quest, which is defeating Radon, right? You have to defeat Radon, which is how you get this item.
That's true.
Not specifically directly after Radon, but you do get it after
By
that
meeting,
point in her
you meet
quest.
what Ronnie or maybe Celavis or something.
No,
Up in the
you
little
definitely
priestesses.
get this item from Ronnie, I believe.
Ronnie, yeah,
Yeah, she's
because
the
that's how
one
you
who.
access her tower, right? Is essentially
Yes.
the idea.
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
So like boom,
Mm.
you know, that's lending the credence to that right there. So
Oh,
that's how it's intrinsically connected because
yep.
here's this motherfucker.
Yep. And so
Wow.
all the statue says is that he is a it says it's called what is it called? The Carrion inverted statue. So um reveals hidden form of the Carrion study hall. Okay, no.
Oh, it says statuette of a scholar with ground and sky inverted. Of a
There you go.
scholar. So who is this scholar? I think we're looking
Got
at
it.
him in the trailer.
I think so too. Could be.
Yeah.
You know, he's got a little more of a lavish neck thing, but it makes sense that maybe they wouldn't put that on a little statue. Who knows? Or that maybe this is just court regalia. But their court is interesting. I think this is also in Carrier Manor, or as people have speculated, that this room is in Carrier Manor.
It could be.
So maybe this is, again, if we're talking about going to a past or something, then maybe this is a past in which this person was ruling of some sort. Because these are glintstones up here, you know.
Yeah, it could be, or this could be like added content to the Lands Between. Honestly,
100%.
Just
Totally.
because in a trailer we're seeing footage of a new area doesn't mean that they're not adding new content to like the Lands Between areas that we're already at.
Absolutely,
100%.
I think almost certainly we're going to see some effects of what we're doing, you know.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you know, we're speculate.
Okay.
What was the word?
Speculizing. Yeah,
Speculizing.
Yeah.
This is pure speculation.
Pure speculating. Okay, next thing I wanted to bring up. Oh, this is just a fun little detail that I found. This thing right here. This looks like maybe another hero's jail. Or,
I thought the same thing. No, the
yeah,
the hero's grave.
Hero's grave. There it is.
I think they're called graves. Yeah.
It also could be Mount Gelnir stuff, or just something new. Maybe Mesmer's palace or something.
Could be.
But one thing that's interesting about this, if you look at this, it's actually spinning. Oh, it's really quick.
You can go frame by frame with the arrows, or
yeah,
excuse me, with the carrots.
Period and comma.
Yeah.
So yeah, you see how the bottom part of it is actually spinning right there. What's cool about this is called an Archimedes screw. It's one of the oldest It's one of the oldest machines ever. These are actually found in Babylon a long time ago. And they are a way of transport. They are a way to get liquid from a lower elevation to a higher elevation. So I think that's kind of cool. They're using that. They're using that to pull lava up.
Yeah, and look at the length of that thing. Like I didn't realize.
Yeah.
It's huge and long.
It's long. So, anyways, I just thought that was cool that they're taking something from history. That it's an old ancient thing. So that's fun. And then what did I want to talk about next? This looks let's just say this looks like a cool legacy dungeon.
When I saw this, I was like, yes, this is what Miyazaki and the From Software teams do so well, is just create these like fantasy paintings that you always see and you're like, what's going on there? And you can never imagine like a movie or a game like taking place there, but like somehow From Software puts you in there.
I know.
So
Pharaoh
amazing.
Missoula. The first time I'm in Pharaoh Missoula, I just remember being like, "What in the fuck?" Like, you know. And this with those veil things coming out of the god rays up top, and
yeah,
so cool. We can see at the top of this city. If you see at the top there, there's some reminiscent stuff of Pharaoh Missoula with the rocks crumbling upward. But then there's also some stuff that to me looks like Death Blight.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks almost like plant or tree like up there.
Totally, but it could be, you know, some black tree shit, which could be some Death Blighty stuff. I'm interested. This trailer doesn't give us a lot of hints of any sort of Godwin stuff.
Well, people on Reddit are theorizing Godwin's the secret end boss.
I could see that because it's like with most Miyazaki DLCs, there's like the flagship boss, which we think is probably Mesmer. But you know, like there's like a flagship boss that they tell you about, and then a secret boss. Like in Bloodborne, it was the Orphan of Kos, right? Is like the actual like scary big baddie. You know what I mean? So
yeah. So you
cool.
notice like when he's summoning the flame to his hand there, it starts as like almost like a shadow in his hands.
Totally.
It's like really interesting.
Yeah, like that right there actually looks a bit like the stuff we see atop this castle. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe, yeah. I
Maybe
mean,
like just
so
you know
we're gonna be in the land of shadow, so obviously things are like shadowy, right? It looks like
shadowy.
he's
Yeah,
summoning a shadow to his hand, but the shadow
totally.
turns into fire. So like, okay, with the flames in Elden Ring, you have
Yep.
regular fire, which is typically like Giant's Flame, right? You have varying degrees of the power of the Giant's Flame. You have the God Slayer Flame, right? The black
Yep,
one.
the black flame.
And then you have Blood Flame, which is
Yep.
the what is it?
The
The
formless
mother. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this a fourth flame type?
Yeah, I have thought about that. He's an interesting person because his symbolism, it seems almost to me like they're hinting at the fact that maybe he's in touch with all of these multiple kind of powers because his eyes right here, you can see, they look like dragon eyes to me.
Yeah.
And then the flame kind of looks like either blood flame or giant's flame.
Well,
but then he's got this snake symbol, which is more
right.
like, you know what I mean? Like,
but
he's
also
got
look
a
at his
lot of
helmet.
elements.
Look at his helmet too. You could say that there's a snake there, but also a dragon.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean? I see
and
that
actually
iconography.
And actually, his wings, his weird winged things, remind me of that one suit of armor. Sorry, I didn't pull it up earlier, but it's called like the Drake Knights set.
Interesting.
It's like a red cloak, and it has like dragon wings coming out.
Interesting.
That's a cool thing. But also something that's
Yeah.
interesting about the thing about the snakes, right? He's got this snake imagery, and these two snakes coming around. Sorry, let's go to the Duelist set. Here we're seeing this.
Man. I love the
The
Duelists.
Oh, it's awesome. But so this is a bronze helm decorated with innumerable snakes worn by gladiators who were driven from the Colosseum. The wearer becomes slightly easier target to foes. The snake is viewed as a traitor to the Erdtree, and audience delighted in seeing these bronze effigies beaten and battered.
Obviously the snake.
Yeah, go for it.
The snake we know of in Elden Ring is Rykard, and that whole like
Totally.
like that's heresy, right? The snake shit is heresy. So like I wonder how connected the duelists are to Rykard, and I wonder how connected to Rykard Mesmer is.
Sure. So there's definitely a possibility, but my other speculation is maybe that, going along with my other theory, that maybe Mesmer was one of America's earlier children, right? Older children.
Yeah.
Or Radagons, I suppose.
I have more on that, but continue.
Totally. But that maybe he assaulted the throne early on, like before the shattering, or maybe in the first battles of the shattering, and that he was so powerful, and he's this original snake traitor that becomes this symbolism against the Golden Order. And that my other theory, and this is getting super deep, and I don't even really have time to explain everything about this theory right now.
Just do it.
But there's a chance, in my mind, that one of the reasons that Mikola needed to go to sleep in such a way is that Marika actually uses Mikola to trap Mesmer in this shadow realm because he's too powerful. Is my thought.
So maybe Mikola is asleep all this time as a means to keep him trapped somehow.
A deterrent, and maybe even Mikola is sort of kind of the veil himself.
I agree with that too.
Yeah, that's a crazy Mikola theory, but it might be some fun stuff.
So all right, so let me give you a theory that I saw on Reddit that I found really interesting. And we were talking about this a little bit earlier. So, you know, going back to the butterfly thing, whereas Melina is the fire butterfly. What if Mesmer is actually the butterfly? What if, because you see this a lot with Marika and Radigan's children, that they have like twins and stuff. I saw this this interesting theory this morning. Like, you know, we got Morgott and then his twin Moog, and then we got other twins in there, in the mix with Mikola and
Melania. Yep.
Melania. I just always want to say Melina. What if Mesmer and Melina are both twins? Because if you go back to that picture or of Mesmer, and you look really closely to him, he the same eye that Melina has closed. He also has closed.
Totally.
Which is a really interesting thing. It's almost like the whole shadow thing with Ronnie and
Farash and that kind of thing.
All that stuff. So there's a possibility that like Melina and Mesmer are actually like so closely related that they are literal twins.
Well, and that would be interesting if Melina kind of starts you on this journey. And like Melina, we really don't know much. She's one of the most enigmatic characters in Elden Ring. Like there's speculation that she was the Glomide Queen. She says she was born at the foot of the Erdtree and that her purpose was taken from her by her mother. So like was her purpose the Glomide Queen, which is like to slay gods, right? Is the purpose of her?
Yeah, but also like how do you explain the ending with the frenzied flame when she does open the eye and then she's like, "Oh, I have the power of death and death," or whatever.
Yeah.
How does that connect with stuff?
Yeah, that's her becoming the Glomide Queen, so who knows, you know?
Could Mesmer's flame be connected to death and death as well somehow? I don't know.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it looks like it. In fact, the brambles and stuff that kind of come out of it are similar to the alt or to the thing after you beat Malekith.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's the death rune. Yeah. So yeah, it's all really interesting. I think we're hitting upon like all of the places that this game like evokes, like we were saying, like with the deathbed Fia stuff somehow being connected to all this, with the different flames, with the 3 children, possibly 4 children. You know, it's really like thick, obviously. The interesting thing here as well is that like all of this, yeah, look at that. I mean,
it's interesting, right? The red's different.
The red is a little bit different, but it's still, if you really like think about it, the middle part, the shadow part could be death itself, right? So this, totally. I think maybe you could call this like the death flame, which is a little bit different than the black flame.
The black flame, yeah, exactly.
And all the other flames.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa, what's with these dragon guys?
So this is the last thing I wanted to touch on. This is kind of just fun. Where are we here? Oh yeah, this guy. So,
I know where you're gonna go with this, and I was thinking the same thing, to be honest.
Totally. So this looks like a lion and all that stuff. But you can see that he's human feet there.
Yep.
And that it's more of like a cloak, and this is very reminiscent of Chinese dragons. Or Chinese lions. Actually, this is actually called a Chinese lion, the Chinese lion dance. You'll see that this is a traditional like thing they do where they'll leap. It's 2 people right under here, and they'll leap off these pedestals. Sorry, and I thought I had one more, but I guess that's it. They'll leap off these pedestals and do these like acrobatic things. And that very much looks like this right there. Do you see that leap?
No, absolutely. Yeah, like you know I see a person underneath, like essentially something on top of them. So I was thinking the same thing, just like those Chinese dragons they do for the New Year, Chinese New Year stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's there really you go. You can see some legs over there in the corner that look very, very human. And then this is just a total random thing, but the last little thing I'm going to say is this foot right here.
Looks like an omen foot, doesn't it?
Looks like a goddamn omen foot. Look at this.
Sure does.
Look at, yeah, exactly. So,
I noticed that too.
Some more stuff with the crucible or the omens or why America's children come out deformed sometimes, you know.
Let's also quickly look at the abilities at the end of this trailer and just kind of call those out, which I just find them to be really cool and interesting.
I'm gonna let it roll. There's let's see. There's because I forget if it intersplices them at all, but there's like
I think they just like right here. So there's 8 new weapon types, including throwing daggers, which is sick.
So like throwing daggers as a permanent weapon, which is cool. Like instead of, that's
there's new like Japanese swords, katanas, but they're not katanas.
This looks like a totally
you
new
saw.
incantation of some sort,
Yep. Which
Totally.
is interesting because it is butterflies, and we've been talking about butterflies, and that's, I think, what's got people's brains going to butterfly land. Keep going.
Yep, totally. This is so
Yep.
cool.
There's
The fighting monks style, like, come on now.
Which is funny because you get that one like toe blade weapon from
Oh yeah, yeah.
what's it called? It's not it's the
The
mountaintops of the giants, Castle Soul, I think. But like you
Mhm.
don't use a kick, you use it as a fist weapon, which I find to be
Yeah,
funny. And
it
look
is
at that.
funny.
Now there's gonna be like the explosive projectile.
The demolitions man. Yeah,
I don't think this is a weapon. I think this is a usable item.
I also think so.
What else we got?
Yeah, and then
Oh,
and then
look at that.
this guy looks so sick.
The repeating fucking
Yeah, the
crossbow.
machine gun crossbow. But look at this guy's drip. Come on now.
Dude, that is a sick ass armor set.
He looks like fucking Darth Vader or something. Um, yeah, I'm
And
big
that
on
right there. So
this is a beast roar, right? Yeah.
yeah, so similar to the
Dragon.
dragon abilities, it looks like we have now like a rune bear style roar ability. And that's a new katana
Yeah.
type.
Also Red Dancer, interesting.
Yep.
We know about the Blue Dancer story with Millennia's mentor being the Blue Dancer. Odd that this is a Red Dancer in a field of blue flowers. I just find that imagery interesting. This is some gravity magic. It looks like this guy
these
is
are just some
big
new
and scary.
enemies.
This is a new Crucible incantation. You know what I mean? Which
Well, we don't know if that's a crucible, but that's definitely a golden order style magic being used by an enemy. But we do see the crucible ability being used right after this.
totally. Yeah,
one.
this just feels like, the Crucible is all about like thorns and gnarly stuff, and you see those kind of like prickers coming off it. I don't know.
Dude, what if a crucible enemy is like riding one of those? Wouldn't that be crazy?
Yeah. Those guys are. I mean, actually, I had their number by later in the game. Like once you figure out their mode, like
Oh my god,
their rhythm, they're pretty
dude!
interesting.
I
guy's
didn't
wild.
notice this. This motherfucker right here is riding a horse.
Yeah, and that horse is decaying in the back. It's like Have you ever seen the Neverending Story?
Yeah. Oh, don't.
It's like Artax drowning
Artax
in the
drowning
swamps.
in the
It's so
swamps.
sad. But I kind of think this guy is an Albinoric, maybe.
Kind of, yeah. He's got the white, like the alabaster skin and shit. This guy is gnarly.
Oh yeah, one thing to call out: this guy is the same guy as earlier in the trailer. Where is he? There he is. You see this brooch? You see this brooch right here?
Oh, dude, leave it here really
Yeah.
quick. That lady next to him is wearing the Malaise set. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I did notice that.
Like
Yep.
even the Malaise helmet or headpiece that is like that like silver face, and it has like the braids.
Yeah, totally.
That's straight up that. So like there's a connection with Millennia there, because in that castle,
the shaded castle, right?
The shaded castle, they have a picture of Millennia because they worship her there.
Totally. And also
interesting.
You see here, this is total, I don't have any evidence for this, but later in this trailer, you see an area that to me looks super shaded castle-y. Where is it?
Dude, what if they add more content to that area too?
Doesn't this feel sort of similar? I mean, I know it's not, but like it's just got.
It could be that castle's twin though, in the Land of Shadow.
Something like that, exactly.
Like you're saying, it's almost like this new land is almost like an echo of the Lands Between somehow, either being the original Lands Between, or what the Lands Between is based on, or like a shadow of it or something.
And also, like, just as a creative mindset type of thing, I could see like them being like, how do we get this DLC out within any sort of time that makes any sense? And that could be like a Zelda style,
like Zelda,
the whole map. You know what I mean? Of
Kingdom,
retouching the map and making it different.
I can.
Anyways, let's go through this final thing so we can get Miguel in here. So we just got the last couple things. There's this guy. This guy's cool. He might be a cool, scary boss.
Quick note: that was another swamp, right there too.
Totally. Yeah.
So and people theorize it's a Deathblight swamp. So we'll see about that.
I think we'll probably get a Deathblight swamp and maybe a sleep swamp also.
Oh my god, dude.
Which
Give
would
me
be
more sleep.
crazy.
Yes.
Give me more sleep, you know? And then here we go, our final showdown with Mesmer.
And finally the best crucible ability.
Yeah, right? The winged.
Which, dude, give me that Mesmer weapon, by the way, the Impaler spear or something. Look at that!
Right.
Oh man,
Come on
finally.
now. So sick.
We've all been wanting that shit.
That's the other thing too. America impaled.
Oh
sure.
right.
So
she does have a
she
spear
is-
in her.
Yeah, she is rocking a spear at some points.
Yeah,
So
you're right.
there is part of me that's like, could that have been a Mesmer thing? Who
Maybe.
knows? You know?
Maybe Mesmer is more involved in the shattering of the of the ring, or the downfall of Marika in the first place, in a lot of ways as well.
Yeah. Maybe just the original, one of the the original sin sort of thing of this whole thing. So
Maybe. So
could be.
a lot of
Well-
theories. Did you find the Reddit theories I dug up interesting? Because I
Hell
found
yeah.
your theories really interesting as well.
No, absolutely. I mean, here's the thing. Fundamentally, this could go so many different ways. I mean, we
don't know.
We can dig in as much as we want, and Miyazaki is so good at just completely shaking our expectations. So we'll see. Subversion.
King of subversion.
Well, that's gonna do it for this Elden Ring Rewind Theater trailer breakdown. We'll have to think of what we want to brand trailer.
Oh, it's gonna
Stuff.
be Rewind Theater because I like that.
I think
that's interesting.
Rewind Theater's fun. It's like I don't know. we run it back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love
So-
that. That's what we'll call it.
So stick around if you're watching the stream. We're gonna have more content tonight. We're gonna take a little break while we change scenes and get Miguel in here. But if you're watching this on YouTube, thanks for joining us. Give us a like, give us a subscribe to the channel if you like what you saw, and we'll be back with more gaming content for you soon. Thanks for being here.
Let us know how much you love this fucking Elden Ring trailer and how hyped you are as well in the comments below.